Hi there, welcome to the ClearSkinEssentials.com. I'm Natasha St. Michael, and today I want to talk about exercise and melasma. What to watch out for, okay? So first of all, before I get into it, I do want to say that exercise is not going to cause you to get melasma. Exercise most probably won't make your melasma worse, but the skincare products that you're using while you exercise or right before you exercise could be aggravating your melasma and making it worse. So it's more about the combination of what skincare products you're using before and while you exercise and exercising that can be kind of standing in your way of getting rid of melasma or making it worse. And unfortunately, I've been going through this like the hard way. Most of you know that I was able to fade the melasma I developed from both my pregnancies. I was able to fade it about 6 months ago. I've done many videos on like diet and melasma, sunscreen and melasma, and skincare products that worked for me and what didn't. And I'm going to put all the videos below of like all the different sort of lifestyle and diet changes and skincare changes I had to make in order to get rid of the melasma. And I was able to maintain my results of getting rid of it completely about 6 months ago, up until I started exercising. Okay, and I started exercising consistently, like 6 days a week, about 3 months ago. And I'm really proud of myself that I've been like super diligent with like doing it. But, and this is a big but, is that I started noticing that sometimes when I'd use certain skincare products right before I'd exercise, that after I exercise, I'd look in the mirror and the melasma was starting to come back. And I wasn't getting new dark patches. It's the old ones that I faded that would start coming like to the surface again. And it was terribly frustrating. But luckily over time, I started like seeing patterns of certain products, certain ingredients that I could tell were aggravating my melasma when I'd use those products right before I'd exercise. Okay, those products I was able to use like for the rest of the day. Like after I exercised, no problem. Like no problem using it during the day or at night. But I couldn't use certain ingredients, certain products right before I was exercising or while I'm exercising. And that's what I want to share with you today, especially for those of you that are like have melasma, you're trying to fade it. You've done all these great things with your diet, with your skincare, with like wearing sunscreen all the time. And still, it's like the melasma just won't go away. And it could be, if you're exercising, it could be the skincare products that you're using right before you exercise or while you're exercising that could be kind of just aggravating that melasma, making it worse. Because pretty much the whole thing is that when we exercise, our body temperature rises, right? And our blood flow is increased and our skin becomes a lot more sensitive, especially when you're like sweating and your body's heating up. And then imagine like if we're using cleansers and skincare products like serums and moisturizers that contain active ingredients, and those ingredients are sitting on your skin while you're exercising, they can aggravate your skin. And areas where you have melasma, it's already kind of inflamed. And those products, when you're exercising, could just be triggering it and making it worse. So that's what I want to talk about today, is kind of how I've had to adjust my skincare routine, what ingredients and products I no longer use when I'm exercising. And so I kind of want to walk through like what my skincare routine is before I exercise and what I'm doing. All right, so let's get into that. So pretty much I exercise always in the morning. And in the morning, I wash my face before I exercise. I don't wait till after I exercise. I don't wash my face after exercising because my body is already heated up and I find my skin is a lot more sensitive after exercising. So I rather wash my face first thing in the morning. And so now that I know that I have to be careful with the skincare products that I'm using, I no longer use skincare products that contain essential oils, active botanicals, no AHA, no BHA, no active like exfoliating cleansers or exfoliating acids, no exfoliating enzymes, like no active ingredients, okay, when I'm exercising. After I'm exercising, I can use products that contain those ingredients, no problem. So for the rest of the day or in the evening, I can use products that contain essential oils or contain exfoliating acids, like no problem. But before I exercise and while I'm exercising, I cannot use those products because they make my melasma worse when exercising. Okay, so pretty much with a cleanser, what I'd recommend is using something that has no essential oils, no fragrance, no exfoliating acids like no AHA, no BHA, no salicylic acid, no prescription strength cleansers, none of that. Use something that is so mild. Okay, so that could be for those of you that like washing your face with honey. You can continue doing that. That's fine. That's super mild. If you like oil cleansing, my recommendation is not to use an oil cleanser that has essential oils in it, no active botanicals in it, no synthetic fragrance, no natural fragrance, none of that. Really, I would say before exercising, if you like oil cleansing, use a plain oil. Okay, like use grapeseed oil or use safflower oil or use hemp seed oil or sunflower oil. Like use something that's like plain, you know, and it could be like a blend if you want like a blend of like sunflower and safflower and like jojoba oil. That's fine, but don't use anything that has fragrance, essential oils, active botanicals, nothing, okay? And then if you don't like using those kind of things, but you prefer like, let's say like a gel cleanser or like just sort of a traditional cleanser, milk cleanser, cream cleanser, things like that, just make sure there's no fragrance in it, no essential oils, no active botanicals, none of that. It really should be something that is just fragrance-free, super gentle, super mild. And then after you cleanse, if you really need to moisturize, my recommendation is to either use like a few drops of a plain oil, like a few drops of like argan oil, a few drops of grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, whatever you want, or use a fragrance-free moisturizer. Okay, nothing that has fragrance in it, nothing that has any kind of exfoliating acids, AHA, BHA, none of that. Okay, just nothing with active ingredients. Just really super plain, mild stuff. Now, you might be wondering, can you use your toner? Can you use a serum? No, don't be putting on layer after layer of skincare ingredients on your skin before you exercise. Because my view is that the more ingredients you have on your skin, the more likely it is to aggravate that melasma when you're exercising. Because when you're exercising, everything gets heated up. And if you have all these ingredients on your skin, the likelihood of something kind of going wrong is a lot higher if you're using so many products and ingredients. And really, you don't need to be putting all that stuff on your skin before you're exercising, because what happens is that when you start exercising, you're sweating it out anyways. Myself, I normally like to use a very gentle cleanser, and a lot of times I won't even use a moisturizer. And if I do, it's just a plain oil. Lately, I've been using the Drunk Elephant. I've been using their Beste No. 9 Jelly Cleanser. I did a review of it. This is fragrance-free, essential oil-free. So I've been using this, and this has been really good and mild. And then right afterwards, I've been using a few drops of the Ordinary's organic argan oil. And I really like this, very inexpensive. I use a few drops of it. And that's been my skincare routine before I work out. Okay, and then when I work out, there's nothing else on my skin. I work out inside, so I don't wear sunscreen when I'm exercising. But if you do go outdoors to exercise, you must use a sunscreen. And my recommendation is that if you have melasma, use a physical sunscreen that is mineral-based, preferably zinc oxide. Okay, so if you can make sure to get a sunscreen that has zinc oxide that says that it's broad spectrum sunscreen, so it's protecting you from the UVA and the UVB rays, and make sure that there's no fragrance in it, no essential oils, things like that. Okay, really, really important, because nothing on your skin, you don't want anything to aggravate that melasma. Okay, and then after I work out, I don't re-wash my face, never. Okay, I will rinse my face with cold water or lukewarm water, and I take a cold shower. Okay, and I don't re-cleanse my skin after working out. My skin has already been cleansed from working out because you sweat everything out. And then I continue with my regular skincare routine. So once my body is cooled down, then I can go ahead and use like serums and another moisturizer again, whatever I'm using, you know, my sunscreen, all of that. And it doesn't matter after I'm working out, once my body's cooled down and I'm not sweating anymore, it's fine for me to use products that have essential oils or any kind of active ingredients, whatever, you know. And the same thing with like the evening, right? Like let's say you work out in the evening, wash your face before you work out, only use a very mild fragrance-free moisturizer, facial oil to moisturize your skin, go and work out, and then once you come home, then you can continue with the rest of your skincare routine that you would be using overnight. So for me, let's say I worked out at night, then I would, after my workout, I would rinse my face, take my shower, and then I would use like my serums. Maybe I use a retinol, maybe I use like glycolic acid and a moisturizer, and I'd go to bed. No problem with essential oils or any of that stuff on my skin after working out. Okay, but I always wash my face first thing in the morning because I use products that contain like retinols and glycolic acid, things like that. That I don't want that on my skin in the morning, especially when I'm working out. So I like to wash my face with a cleanser in the morning. A lot of people just prefer rinsing their face in the morning. They don't like to use a cleanser in the morning, and that's fine. But if you're using active ingredients, my recommendation is to be on the safe side and make sure to wash that off. Now, one other sort of detail I do want to talk about is what goes on with your hands as well. When you're working out, don't wear any kind of cream or lotion or hand cream that has fragrance or essential oils, because a lot of times we're touching our face or wiping off sweat when we work out. And if we have like fragrance on or like essential oils on our hands and we're rubbing that into our skin when we're working out, that can cause the hyperpigmentation of the melasma. It can make it worse, so you really have to be careful with that. Make sure if you're going to have anything on your hands that it doesn't have any fragrance or essential oils. And also too, with your gym towels, I would bring your own and be washing your towels with a fragrance-free eco detergent. You don't want to be using like hand towels for your sweat and stuff that has like bleach in it, that has fragrance, that has really sort of like industrial strength detergent residues in it. Because if you're rubbing your skin when you're exercising and your skin is already kind of sensitized by working out and getting heated up, using a towel that has all those residues of bleach and detergents in it can also aggravate that melasma. We have to be like really careful with that melasma if we want to get rid of it and keep it away. So my recommendation is like whatever you can do to protect your skin, do it. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. All right. So I do plan in the next coming weeks to do a video about kind of like updates on my melasma and this journey, because if you've seen, I've done a lot of videos on like diet changes to get rid of melasma. I've done a bunch of videos on skincare products, what worked, what didn't with getting rid of melasma, as well as choosing a good sunscreen for melasma. But I do want to give you guys like just an update as to like what's going on with my melasma and just certain products that I've used that have triggered it to come back, but then how I've been able to get rid of it again and all of that. So it's been an interesting journey. I have to be really, really careful with what I'm putting on my skin. It's kind of one of these things where like I'm able to get rid of it where I don't see it on my skin. It's gone. But it's kind of like it's like dormant under my skin. And if I use certain products or ingredients, sometimes they trigger it to come right back. And it's always like the same big splotch on my forehead that comes out. And it's just been an interesting journey. So I do want to share like what's been going on with all of that. And I'll put a video together with that. And if anything's been working for you for getting rid of melasma, please share. We'd love to hear it. We're definitely a community here sharing what's working for us and what's not, and everyone's different. So it's good if like the more people that's kind of sharing what's working for them, the more ideas people can get and different things to try out. All right, so I'm wishing everyone a fabulous day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.